So I'm super excited because I just got the DaVinci Enigma Tarot packet. Decode your destiny. That's what it says on the back. So excited. So my birthday was on the 15th. Same birthday as Leonardo da Vinci. Just saying. Just saying. I could be his reincarnate. Probably not, but anyways, super excited about this. So DaVinci Enigma Tarot. This is a used deck because I don't think they make it anymore. Maybe they do. I don't know. It's still pretty expensive even to be used. I've already counted all the cards because I'm a freak, and put them all in their same suit. Separated all the major arcanas. So now I need to shuffle them extra good. Because they're definitely not shuffled. They're probably 2 in order. But it's funny because I opened these cards, and when I opened these cards, I was instantly cold. Granted, I did lay in a 7-minute stand-up bed, which I don't ever suggest anyone do, ever. I got fried. So I might just be having the cold chills because I'm burnt. Has anyone ever been super burnt before where you had to take a tomato paste bath? Just me. I think I took an oatmeal bath. Take the burn out. Okay, so these do not shuffle well. I don't know if you can tell. But it's I don't feel like I'm just not a good shuffler, but I like to think I'm a good shuffler. I dated a man for 8 years whose family loved card games, and I swear that was the whole point of our 8-year relationship, was for me to learn how to shuffle so I could do tarot. But these cards, just looking at them, have completely different meanings. So this might take a little bit longer because I'm going to read them off in the book, whatever pops out. And I'm not going to go off of any type of interpretation. Maybe I'll go off of interpretation of what I feel. But I think I'm just going to read because I just kind of want to test these bad boys out. But I actually watched a YouTube video from the guy who wrote The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and I don't really like him. Sorry. I'm not sure why. I think over COVID he said some things that might have upset me, and so now I've always hated him. But I watched one of his videos by accident because I would never watch his shit on purpose after whatever happened that I can't remember during COVID. But I watched something about finding your purpose, and he made such a freaking good point, and it got me excited about doing tarot again, and about painting, about doing all types of shit, because I feel like I've been in such a funk recently, because I guess it's the midlife crisis. I'm 37. My birthday was on Saturday, and I don't know, I'm just having a funk. I own a teeth whitening business, but that's not my purpose. I'm so much deeper than that. I'm not that superficial, right? And I try to make it deep. I'm ugh, your teeth are the most authentic things you have. No one else has teeth like you. And if you're murdered, you don't want to have veneers. You want to have your teeth. So they can find you, identify you, depending on what's happened, right? Morbid, weird, whatever. But I don't know. I kind of having a woe is me moment where I was I don't know my purpose. I'm interested in a lot of things, but they all feel like hobbies and whatever. And he made such a good point that really hit home with me. He said that whole having a purpose thing is in hindsight. Winston Churchill was the example he used, which was so good. He was Winston Churchill did all this shit during World War II that he's known for. But at the time, and before World War II, he probably thought he had a lot of different purposes, right? But looking back, we look at his purpose throughout history and what he's done. And we can kind of like pinpoint a single thing like during World War II, but he did a lot of other things. And he was like, everyone can have more than one purpose. It's kind of all like where you're at in life at the time. It's if you're okay with changing your identity, if you're okay with evolving as a human being. There's so many different intricacies of ourselves. Like, we're not just our names. We're not just our bodies. We're not just our souls. We're not just our conscious. We're not just our subconscious. We're not just our brains. Like, we're all embodied physical freaking entities who are breathing in this magnetic air and are getting swayed in all different directions from all types of vibrations and frequencies. And if we want to change on a dime, we can. So the point of the story is that I was getting kind of worried about doing tarot because I'm just like doing it as a hobby. And, and if people want to pay me to do it, I will. But I charge a lot for it because I'm more excited at people learning about tarot, because tarot is all about noticing patterns. So once I started learning about tarot and how to like look at things without putting a label on it or a word to it, just noticing things that are similar, then my whole world completely changed. I don't know if for the better, because now I feel crazy, but it made me look at everything entirely different. So I get excited about people learning about tarot. So I charge a lot for my tarot card readings because I feel like me doing the reading for you dumbs it down. I feel like you learning tarot on your own and doing your own readings is going to be way more impactful. But if I can get you excited about it and get you interested in looking into it, then yeah, let's do it. But I don't know. I just don't want to be pigeonholed as a tarot card reader, because I'm not. I am not a tarot card reader. That is not who I am. God's name is I am. I'm an Aries. Chakras, root, I am. I am not just a tarot card reader. Like, that's not an identity I want. It's not a label I want. Like, I do it as a hobby. I do it for fun. I want other people to get into it, to look into it for themselves. Yeah, because it like embodies a bunch of different stuff, different religions, spiritual things, whatever. I feel like it's got a lot of, I don't know, it just makes you look at the world differently. So hopefully these are shuffled. I really am excited about looking into this. Okay. See where this takes us. I really am more of a microphone connoisseur, so I feel like I just use tarot as a way to play with microphones. So don't take me too seriously. I mean, if it resonates, definitely. If this is for you, congrats. Which seems to happen. It seems to happen when I say things that are rando and I'm scared to kind of say out loud. That's another thing. It's like, I still have a conscience. I still have an ego. And some things that I see, I don't want to say. Like, either I'm embarrassed to say it or I'm scared. So, and any tarot card reader that like tells you it predicts the future is bullshit. Like, I don't feel like this really predicts the future. This tells you the temperature of the situation, just like a thermostat. You can't see the temperature, you can't see the air, but you can feel it. And that is what tarot is. Tarot, I feel like, just tells you what the temperature of a situation is, what the feeling is going on. Like, what it helps you pinpoint yourself. It calls you out. Okay. I guess I'll get off my soapbox now. Too many are popping out because these are, like I said, they were hard to shuffle. There we go. There's one. 3 of water. And it says conjunction, which is like an astrology term. Look at these fabulous nails that are broken. I'm going to get them done sometime this week. 3 of water. I wasn't sure what I was going to get into in my birthday, and so I didn't want to I didn't know if I'd be going hard. So I was like, I'll just wait and get my nails after my birthday. Okay. Oh, I just saw 8 of air, but it doesn't matter. So 3 of water. So we're going to go back and I'm just going to pull them out. So this is the foundation of the situation, Three of Water. So Three of Water usually to me, which I don't even know if I'm going to do this, Three of Water. No, we're just going to wait because I don't want to make this confusing. I'm just going to tell you where I'm pulling them out at, where I'm placing them. And I'm one of those tarot readers that likes them to flip over, so this could take a while. Especially since this deck is so like, there's one, Knight of Water. So that is the, what's crossing the situation. So the foundation of the situation is Three of Water. What's crossing that is the Knight of Water. Might be hearing my pug in the background. He was outside a lot today, and the pollen's really bad, so he might be. His little face is swollen. He's so allergic to like everything, aren't you? Yeah, you heard me talking about you don't because you're deaf. But okay, so the root of the situation is Lord of the Earth. This is subconscious. Lord of the Earth, which should be King of Pentacles in tarot. Lord of Earth. These noses. I keep noticing these noses. This nose, which doesn't even look big compared to this one that just came out. Hot though, curly hair. Yeah, hell yeah, I can deal with the big nose as long as your hair's curly. Sold. Okay, these came out together. So Three of Fire, and then it says Matrix underneath it. Oh hell yeah, it's got like a baby. So Three of Fire, Matrix, and then Page of Earth. Those come out together, and that is in the most recent past. Okay, immediate future is the Six of Earth, and it says Giving underneath it. I can't really see because it's light, but it looks like they're giving looks like they're giving foreplay. But like this. Okay, so let's see what the current energy is. Eight of Earth, and this is labor underneath it. I'll look at these pictures better when I read them out of the book. No, too many. So in your environment, oh, the same card popped out. Crazy. Lord of Air. So this one, which I always feel like it's supposed to come out, it'll come out. And it did. It came out again. There's only one of each card in the tarot deck, so that's goosebumpy. It's awesome. Now I have the full. Which will be the advice and the best possible outcome. Page of Air. So we've got, to begin with water, which is like emotions. Subconsciously we've got material wealth. In the past, we've got a little bit of will. The wands are our will. Like what we're passionate about. With some earth. And then we've got the more earth in the immediate future. The giving. And then we have the Eight of Earth and the current energy. In the environment, we have Lord of Air. And then in the advice, we have the Full card. And then we have the Page of Air and the has the best possible outcome. So we have a lot of earth and air. Very little fire, which makes me sad because me and Leonardo da Vinci are Aries fire signs. We're both born on April 15th. Let's look at what the bottom of the deck is. 6 of fire, and it says victory. Yay. Congrats, Leonardo. Oh, look, he's on the back. Yay, we have some more fire, Leonardo. Okay. So, we're going to start with 3 of water, conjunction. Which, usually that word, it reminds me of, like, astrology. Like, Pluto conjunct berries or whatever, something, whatever. Okay, 3 of water. And it's got like a spirograph fish type thing. Not really, more like protractor drawing. Okay, so it says 3 of water, conjunction, demi, what is coming together? The light of planetary bodies converges. So again, like I said, like conjunction, it's like something, it's in astrology, the planetary thing. So the light of planetary bodies converges. It says background. Leonardo's studies of optics, light refraction, and astronomy meet in this diagram, showing how the light of 2 luminous and 2 opaque bodies converges to form pyramids of light. Soul code. The conjunction of like-minded friends or the convergence of supportive circumstances encourage the soul. The relief of shared ideas and the mutuality of peers helps your path of destiny appear in sharper focus. The enjoyment you experience when things come together in one bond makes life worth living. Healing and solace come from alliances and coincidences, providing resolution and a happy ending. Funny, we have that. Whatever. Okay. And it says upright. So this is what the card means. That was like some, I don't know, build up. So here's upright. There is healing and resolution. Alliances work well and friends gather in fulfillment. Difficulties come to an end. You are blessed with happy coincidences, serendipity, and congenial assemblies, and experience mutual support and sharing. That's awesome. I'm going to love these. I can already tell. Thanks, Leonardo. This is really his artwork. It's really cool. Okay, so that's the foundation of the situation. Is something is hard times are ending, and some light, happy, serendipitous times are coming. Okay, Knight of Water. I always think of Knight of Water as like the proposal card. And I said I wasn't going to do that, so I will stop. That'll be the last time I mention what I think it means. Okay, so Knight of Water. Here we go. This is the first big nose that I noticed, but it's not that big compared to the ones I'm about to show you. Okay, so Knight of Water, Demi. How do you feel about this? Sketch for a festival costume. I guess this is what this picture is about. Background. This elaborately costumed knight was created by Leonardo for the Duke of Milan's mask. It is clear from his very bound and unarmored state that he rides in the lists of love rather than in the theater of war. Soul code. Emotional satisfaction is an essential food for the soul. By diving deeply into the waters of the psyche, you discover fundamental clues to the art of soul making. Destiny's path unfolds, and when the gifts of a responsive heart are realized, as a guardian of love, you invite the awakened desire to deeper intimacy and fulfillment. Upright. This is what the actual card means coming up. Your emotional appeal opens all the doors, making you attractive. Ideals and visions bloom. Kindness and a patient gentleness can help friends or lovers to become receptive or intimate. Proposals and invitations come your way. It looks like he's got a wand. I feel like they should have made him something with a wand. I need to make my own deck because I'm very critical of everyone who's actually made one. And I just sit over here and critique. So, okay. The real situation is Lord of Earth. Here we go. Talking about the noses. That nose was nothing. That nose doesn't even look big at all compared. Like, it doesn't look big at all when I look at it. I don't know why when I saw that one I was like, wow, his nose is big. And then I pulled this and this. I mean, look at this nose This nose doesn't look big at all. And then I pulled this and I was like, whoa, why did I think that dude's nose was big when this comes out? Okay. Lord of Earth. It's like somebody that has money. This is the real situation. And I guess I am going to be doing that. I take it back. I guess I am going to tell you what I feel like it means. Or what it means in regular tarot. Okay, so King of Pentacles. But this is subconscious. This is like material wealth. It's like security. Lord of Earth. How can you bring stability? And this is called Portrait of a Man. Okay, so, and it says background. This impressive drawing may be of Giacomo Trivulzio, the condottiere and former enemy of Ludovico Sforza. Leonardo was engaged to create a monumental tomb for him. Soul code. Guardianship of the land in your community is a responsibility that brings stability to the soul. Guardianship of the land in your community is a responsibility that brings stability to the soul. Interesting. When the common good is safeguarded, you can pursue the path of destiny in the knowledge that you have contributed and done your duty. You have provided and given wise guidance. When you protect your family or provide security for dependents, you are a wise father. Upright. Leadership and business acumen. See? Like security. Wealthy. Whatever. Leadership and business acumen make you beneficent and prosperous. Endurance and pragmatism give you strong foundations. A deep love of the land and an upholding of traditional values creates both quality of life and stability. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So that's the real situation is guardianship of the land in your community. That brings stability to the soul. That's interesting. Okay. Most recent past, 3 of Fire. And it says Matrix underneath it. And it's got this baby. What have you conceived? What is ready to be born? This is the most recent past. A fetus in the womb is what this is called. Background. Leonardo's anatomical dissections yielded this extraordinary image of an unborn child. He concluded the same soul governs these two bodies, sharing the desires, fears, and sorrows with this creature. Soul code. The soul pursues a risky enterprise when it takes a body to be its vehicle. From the fragile beginnings of conception and birth to the final steps upon the destined path, it takes courage and vision. You cannot ensure that things will turn out the way you hoped, but the patient trust you learned in the womb will sustain you. Well, that just gave me a little aha moment. Like, that's pretty insightful, right? Going with the flow. We go with the flow when we're chilling in our mom's stomachs. Upright. And when we're kids, like, things are just handled, right? Upright. Initiative and acumen launch your endeavors, while good connections help maintain your creative output. So there's a lot about connections, and maybe about, like, in business, or there's some wealthy man subconsciously that you might run into. I'm not sure. But initiative and acumen launch your endeavors, while good connections help maintain your creative output. Your enterprise needs courage and daring. Your enterprise needs courage and daring. The way in which your plans are received is not in your hands. Interesting. Initiative and acumen launch your endeavors, while good connections help maintain your creative output. Your enterprise needs courage and daring. The way in which your plans are received is not in your hands. That's some goosebumpy stuff. Page of Earth also came out. That's my dog snoring, if you're wondering. Better than him coughing. Okay, Page of Earth. It's got this like, it's like a little sketch. It's like a lazy sketch of Leonardo's. Okay. How is this useful? Study of St. Philip for the Last Supper. Background. At Christ's feeding of the 5,000, the Apostle Philip inquired how they might all be fed. Here he gazes with trustful longing at his master, wondering how anyone could betray him. Soul Code. Application and patient tenacity help bring the soul steadily along the path of destiny. You follow the signs and move ahead, learning as you proceed. You collect information and shift its usefulness, but you also share it with others. When you recognize the true value of others, you are a loyal servant of wisdom. Upright, a hard worker. I don't know why I said that. I mean, it's right here. I'm reading it, but I was like, upright, a hard worker. Like, that was it. No. Upright, a hard worker. You are pragmatic, realistic, and loyal. Work proceeds steadily by daily application. This is a good time to research, learn a new skill, or be deeply studious. A message about contracts or business matters is likely to be received. It's just funny because it's like something about conception, like birthing something new, and wands are about like our will, our desires, our like what we're passionate about. The boom boom stick. The phallic symbol. It's the dick in creation, okay? And there's 3 of them here. Like, usually 3 of wands is like when you're waiting or like waiting on your ships to come in. And when we think of birth and stuff, that it's everything with like birth is kind of has to do with like water as well. So like the birth canal and stuff. And the 3 of wands is like waiting on your ships to come in card. And the Page of Earth is about learning something new, even in tarot. So in the most recent path, you're like learning something new and you're being patient. Like not trying to connect the dots, just learning what gets you excited, basically. Or what is like put in your path. Immediate future, 6 of Earth. And then it's got this finger. It says giving. Okay. What can you give? A study of the Virgin's hand. Okay, so I was not far off when it came to... Actually, I was. I was the absolute opposite of what this is saying. The Virgin's hand. But this looks like the Virgin who's about to... Like, this is a virgin because they only do foreplay. Okay. So, a study of the Virgin's hand. Background. Leonardo writes... The actions of hands and arms must be connected to the intention of the mind that moves them. Whoever has a sympathetic understanding will follow the lead of his intentions and all the motions of his hands. Unmotivated gestures look empty and meaningless, but through the fusion of the body with the mind, gestures become significant. Soul Code. Generosity arises from... I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm reading the first word like it's it. Soul Code. Generosity. So I guess just remember that for this card. Generosity. And it says giving. I guess that's important. Soul Code. Generosity arises from a heart in tune with circumstances. The ability to give without expectation arises in those who are secure in their destiny. The treasury of your soul cannot be spent or given away to vain ends. It is currency that will provide you with resources and the ability to handle responsibilities without betrayal or greed. Upright. Generosity, gifts, support, kindness, or benefactors make things feel secure. Spontaneous giving and help comes unexpectedly. Kindness and reciprocation of true exchange. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. That's exciting. The immediate future. I love that. The whole like exchange of energy. Which it's actually talking about like monetary stuff, but... And I know we had another one. Did I do something with it? We're supposed to have 3 here. Are we missing one? We're supposed to have one right here. Or did I just not pull one? Okay. Well, I'm sliding everything down. And I'm going to pull one. And it's 6 of fire, which was at the bottom of the deck. So that's crazy because I was like worried. I was like, oh, we're going to miss our victory card. Now the bottom of the deck is 8 of water, transport. But we still got the same card. So I think we're doing good. Okay. That's crazy to have 2 things. Like, that's unreal. Unreal right there that we just had that happen. And not have it on video. That's crazy. That's never, ever, no, that's never happened to me before. Okay. So let's do, and it says 3322. On the thing, which means we've been talking for forever. So let's do Lord of Air. Another curly-headed man. Lord of Air. How must you temper power with fairness? Study of Caesar Borgia. And I say that, well, that's not important. Okay. Study of Caesar Borgia. Background. The illegitimate son of Pope Alexander. Caesar was a brilliant soldier and a ruthless manipulator whose motto was all Caesar, alt nihil. Caesar or nothing. Leonardo served him in 1502. Soul Code. Scrupulous attention to detail and disciplined logic gives shape to life's disorders and muddles. The power to command the soul's path lies in your hands as long as you keep focused upon your destiny in an intelligent way. But an inability to empathize can change power into ruthless dictatorial cruelty. When you lead others justly, you are a father of all life. Upright. Evaluate things with power and authority. Reason helps you see what is fair and just. Attend to matters of principle. Use your critical and discerning eye carefully. Cut losses by making sacrifices. That's the current energy. Okay. How must you temper power with fairness? And the environment is full. Which is our first major arcana. This is in the environment. This is the only major arcana of this whole thing, which is crazy. The Fool card, which is like taking a leap of faith. Fool. Oh, this is going to be a long one. Okay. So, the Fool, even in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, it's like a peddler. It's like someone that is jumping off a cliff. It's 0, which stands for Aleph in the Hebrew alphabet, because it's also 0. And it's supposed to be before God breathed or said, let there be light. It's like stepping out into faith. And usually the one in Rider-Waite, they're standing on a cliff and they're about to jump. Fool. What is calling you to follow this new departure? How does instinct empower you? This is an environment. A ragged beggar in fetters is the name of this picture. Background. The part of Leonardo's artistic life was one of struggle, of managing to live hand to mouth, forever at the beck and call of patrons and municipal authorities who held the purse strings. We occasionally catch a glimpse of his barely reined in impatience with the demands of wrangling civil servants, querulous church dignitaries, and the imperiousness of princely commands. When he first set out to make his fortune in the court of Ludovico Sforza in Milan, he was presented extraordinarily, not as an artist but as a musician. Aware of his own potential and desirous of catching the eye of a powerful patron, Leonardo put himself forward as a military engineer who could create weapons and defenses that would overthrow and repel enemies in a very overweening proposal. He offers to lay his skills and his secrets at the disposal of Sforza, to create engines and unknown machines such as armored cars and cannons that will hurl destruction upon the enemy. This risky, overconfident account of his untied abilities was somehow accepted, and he was launched to Milan as a valued member of Sforza's following. This element of risk and of biting off more than was possible to achieve marked Leonardo's whole career. This beggar is one of his designs for one of the extravagant masks of Sforza, for whom the budding artist undertook many menial tasks, such as the central heating of the justice's bathroom, among others. The beggar in this card is fettered by ignorance and constrained by the will of another, but he has an imagination that flies free of his fetters. He seeks knowledge and freedom, longing for a wider, more generous world to live in, where he can sketch his abilities to the full. Soul Code. Instinct is the first guide to life. Listen to what your gut instinct is telling you about the situation. Public opinion is not necessarily a good indication of how you should proceed in this matter. If you feel the stir of a journey without a fixed destination, set your foot upon the path and initiate your destiny. The way will not always be as clear and as easy as it now appears. The way will not always be as clear and easy as it now appears, but return to what triggered you to go forth and you will soon pick up the track. Upright. A naive and childlike delight leads you into new projects and themes with a rush of enthusiasm. Innocence and spontaneity can carry you much of the way. There is a yearning for freedom and new vistas, and you follow your vision despite lack of resources. Love it. Love that. Okay, Page of Air. And this is like the most important card out here because it's only Trump card. There's only 22 of those. And the whole, that's supposed to represent the macrocosm. Everything else is the microcosm. It's big. It's like destined. Divinity. Page of Air. And it's like eclipse season right now, so it's going to be wild out in them streets. And we just had a full moon recently. Nuts. Okay. Page of Air. Which is usually the spy card. Or it's like immature communication. So I have somebody who has like shaggy-ish hair. It's not super curly. And their nose is kind of big too. Not as big as Honkers over here, but it's pretty big. What do you have to watch out for? Sketch of a youth. This swiftly executed sketch of a young man could represent one of the many apprentices who prepared Leonardo's pigments, cleaned his studio, and learned the principles of an artist's craft. Vigilance is the servant of the soul, enabling you to travel safely upon the path of destiny. Whatever trials and challenges lie in wait, you'll be prepared to face them and deal with them, using your physical agility and mental cunning. By observing all the approaches, you are a servant of the sanctity of life itself. Upright. Insight and vigilance help you discover what is hidden. Some strategizing is necessary. Keep your wits about you and remain agile. You may need to improvise at short notice. There may be news about negotiations or contracts. I love it. Six of Fire. Best possible outcome. The victory card. Popped out twice. This one and the King, Lord of Air. Six of Fire. It looks like all these statues that were torn down here at the Black Lives Matter that had the time capsules, like the ones that were at in Virginia and in Charleston and DC. See? Okay. Because they're on like horses and stuff. The Robert E. Lee one, especially. Okay. Six of Fire. Victory. What has been achieved or realized? Study of the Trivulzio Monument. Background. The triumph of the Italian mercenary Gian Giacomo Trivulzio, who captured Milan on behalf of the French army, was to have been celebrated by this monument. But the French were expelled and the work discontinued. Soul Code. The enjoyable triumph of victory should not obscure the fact that this is but one battle and a longer struggle to win through to your destiny and stay on course with it. But the realization of hopes and desires encourages the soul nevertheless. Beware of standing upon a pedestal or of glorifying in the defeat of others. Upright. Whether it is a great triumph or just good news, you are through to a place of gain and realized desire. The reward for your efforts is the sense of a job well done. Self-empowerment and advancement are yours. So that kind of reminds me of that whole purpose thing that I was talking about earlier, because it says the enjoyable triumph or victory should not obscure the fact that this is but one battle and a longer struggle to win through to your destiny and stay on course with it. Like so many people become victorious in something, and I felt like I was getting into that, and I kind of had like a midlife crisis because of it, because it's like I kind of like hit every goal, which was not much apparently because I did it faster than I thought I was going to, and then I kind of got bored. I was like, okay, so I've already hit all these goals. I mean, do I just reach for more money? and more employees, and like I just kind of got bored with it. I was like, okay, if I can do it with this, then think of something I'm like really excited about. It's kind of what I got in my mind. But then I got kind of discouraged because I was like, oh my God, but my identity has been this. And so I got really burnt out, decision fatigue, because all I could think about was I don't want to go after something and then be pigeonholed into that one thing again. So that's kind of why, I mean, my indecisiveness, because I just didn't want to pick something to do, because I didn't want that to be my whole thing. But after watching that whole like guy talk about how we can have a bunch of different purposes and how there's a lot of purposes on the way to whatever legacy we leave when we leave this earth, it's going to make sense at the end of it, that as long as we just keep pushing towards joy, which is crazy. I just had a lady that booked an appointment the other day, and her last name was Joy Constant. And I was like, is the universe trying to tell me something? Her last name was Constant, and her first name was Joy. And I was like, isn't that the goal of living, is just to be joyous constantly? Yeah, and I don't smoke weed. I don't know, my natal chart says that medicines and drugs, I'm very sensitive to them. I think because my reality is everyone else is hammered. I think my sober is everyone else's drunk and high. Okay, so let's look at 8 of water, because that was the overall thing, and I forgot to even look at that. So 8 of water. Then we got the Empress card, which is a Libra at the bottom of the deck. I kind of want to look at that. So 8 of water. This is like the overall energy, which looks really interesting because it's like, it looks like some plans for something. It says transport. 8 of water, transport. Again, water is like emotions. So this will be interesting. And regular tarot means walking away from something. And then that Empress card makes me think of like walking away from a Libra is like the ultimate energy. Or it's like a motherly type thing. 8 of water. How can your plan be improved? Plan for an automobile is what this picture is. That's pretty cool. Leonardo's theoretical understanding of the combustion engine didn't reveal to him how it might be applied to this first blueprint of an automobile, but then men might stay peacefully in bed if their imaginations were satisfied. Interesting. Soul code. Adjustment and reorientation helps the soul remain true to its destiny. What you have planned doesn't always work out, and it wouldn't be but wasted effort to continue knowing that your dream will crash. I'm like, is this reading is talking to me? Okay, it says, as your soul matures, so early wishes and hopes lose their attraction. You are led to seek and explore more deeply. Upright. Mature reassessment leads you to consider the abandonment of old plans. Something is not working out satisfactorily and will merely waste your time and resources unless you discontinue. Go deeper, seek further. And then let's just look at Empress, because it makes me think there's like some Libra that needs to be left, or might have something to do with like matriarchal stuff. So Empress. I wish we would have pulled Enigma. That's the Mona Lisa. Empress. How do you take up your unique place as a living being? Where can you guide others with love and kindness in this matter? Background. Leonardo's study for St. Anne shows the Mother of Mary looking indulgently upon her grandchild Jesus. Leonardo's major paintings and commissions involving the Holy Family remarkably show only the mother and grandmother of Christ, and never St. Joseph, his nominal father. Leonardo's own mother, Caterina, was a peasant girl, not married to his father. She was married off to someone of her own class, leaving Leonardo to find his way through the world as an illegitimate son who would never inherit his father's legacy. His father married successive wives who were left with the raising of Leonardo, and this early female tenderness remains a striking feature of all his depictions of the Virgin. The capable mother who provides everything and loves her child was a figure not only of everyday life. In his prophecies, Leonardo sagely notes an ancient Mediterranean predisposition in Italy for the divine feminine over the divine masculine when it came to actual worship. I love that he believes in twin flames. Okay. There are many who uphold the faith of the sun but only build temples in the name of the mother. Saint Anne is traditionally regarded as the supreme imparter of practical wisdom, revealing that her roots stretch back to all the great goddesses of classical culture that preceded Christianity. Ray, Cybele, and the Great Mother herself. The tenderness of St. Anne portrays the mother's love that nurtures the soul's gift. Soul Code. By being faithful to the laws of your life, your soul can enter into the joys and pleasures of existence, finding rhythm and timeliness. The path of a creator is nourished by generosity and patience, by allowing things to assume their innate nature in their own way. Life is your soul's opportunity to manifest your destiny by means of practical wisdom. The deep faithfulness with which you mate or mother what you encounter along your way acclaims you as one concerned with the evolution of life. Wait, what? The deep faithfulness with which you mate or mother what you encounter along your way acclaims you as one concerned with the evolution of life. Upright. Fertility and nurture bring forth the accomplishment of your plans. By giving time for things to find their natural level of growth, you foster their development and reap the harvest. The creative life force pours into the situation, bringing satisfaction. You have the gift to create beauty and to reassure the anxious. I love it. It kind of hits home with me. It resonates with me. Oh, God, we have to do the strength card. Look, he's naked. It's like, and it's the Leo card. It's got the lion on it. What forces are you bringing into play? What tendencies need taming here? A study of Heracles and the Nemean lion. Leonardo was surrounded by the condottieri, military leaders of the Italian city-states, hard men of unflinching power like Ludovico Sforza, whose idea of strength was aggression and the merciless overthrow of enemies. This conventional image of strength and capability shows the mythic hero Heracles, who overcomes the Nemean lion in the first of his 12 labors. And I just want to make sure you know that I know how to say Hercules, so if you think I'm like saying it wrong, I'm not. It's Heracles, Herakles. Okay, Heracles. I'm not sure. The Nemean lion was the invisible offspring of the serpent goddess Echidna and her son, the hound Orthos. Heracles overcame the lion by means of a wrestling match and not by using his club or sword. He eventually strangled it to death, but was so weary from his labor that he fell into a deep slumber for a month. He finally awoke when the people believed him to be dead, about to sacrifice a ram to honor the dead hero. When I see ram and lion, I think of like Aries, Leo, sheep, and lion, like Jesus, who's also lion and lamb. Okay. On his safe return, the ram was then offered to Zeus Soter, or the Zeus who rescues. Heracles skinned the lion and cut off the creature's claws. In order to honor his semi-divine son, Zeus transported the lion to the heavens, where it became the zodiacal constellation of Leo. See, yay, we do have Leo. Leonardo's ability to tackle his own ambitious labors was based upon a flexibility and an adaptive nature. Heracles with his lion shows how the soul wrestles with life experiences, having to learn the difference between coercion and might, guidance and love. Soul Code. Everybody says that Leos are narcissists. Even, I met this therapist the other day. It was so crazy because she was like, oh, I might have said this in another thing, but it was funny because she was like, she saw my tarot cards and stuff, and she was like, oh, yeah, I'm a therapist, and I have people coming all the time who were like, but they were a Leo, and I'm like, what does that have to do with it? And I'm like, oh my God, that just like confirms everything. I'd say that the July Leos are like passive aggressive narcissists, and then like covert, and then the August ones are like, it was flat out, like, don't care, arrogant, narcissist. But it's funny because narcissism is just like, they're just missing something. I can't remember what it is. In their cells, like in their atoms, are like missing whatever, an electron or something, scientifically. But if you think about it, like Leos represent the sun, and the sun, I tell everyone if they want to get over someone, because a lot of tarot has a lot to do with love. It has a lot to do with emotions and how we feel and stuff. And a lot of people, when they're like reaching for something at a hard time, it's mostly something that they need to let go of. It can be with grief and love and like anything, like someone could pass away, like all types of stuff like that. So, and Leos are all about feelings because they're the sun. So the sun, the one way to practice detachment is to watch the sunset every single night. Just go watch the sunset, because the sun gives off photons, and photons feel really good. So when you watch it go down, you're feeling something go away. So you're feeling, it's almost like, instead of like getting the dopamine from like getting out of the cold plunge, this is like, there's no dopamine after. It's just like being okay with the sun going down, and you're not feeling the photons anymore. You're not feeling like, it's just like slow, like taking the needle out, the drip, the morphine or whatever you've been numb to, because you've like held on to that attachment. Because I feel like life is all about just like facing the void, being like, we don't need anything at all, like at all. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So if at the end of this life all we have is sitting in the dark, because we don't have these bodies to like look around and stuff, this whole show that's going on, then so you should probably practice meditating and learning to like it. Okay, so yay, so inspiring, right? Okay, soul code. Fortitude and conviction are necessary to follow the soul's destiny to its conclusion. Not everything you meet upon the road is evil, though it may be challenging or need to be challenged. Okay, so this is just telling me they're not all Leos are narcissists. I feel like that's what it's trying to tell me. The ability to tame your instincts, which is funny because I love them. I love Leos. I only date Leos, so it's like I can't really do like love readings on myself because I don't know which one I'm talking about. So not everything you meet upon the road is evil, that might be challenging or need to be challenged. The ability to tame your instincts and combine them with your strength and compassion brings you to self-knowledge, opening the way to your destiny. The energetic power to hold on and transform matters enables what is wild or unrefined to become cultured and serviceable. Upright. Courage and patience combined help you face challenges calmly. Your ability to engage with life passionately tempers and matches any wild tendencies or uncontrolled forces. The power of conviction helps you overcome fears. Sexual magnetism attracts others. Strength of mind and a defiant confidence helps you wrestle with problems and not be overwhelmed by them. Sexual magnetism attracts others. Strength of mind and a defiant confidence helps you wrestle with problems and not be overwhelmed by them. God created sex. Priest created marriage. Mic drop.